Hello,
Rico,
this is.
how are you, brother Angelo DeCipio? How you doing?
Well, hello, sir. How are you?
I am so well. There should be two of me.
Right. Listen, I got my fan on me and I got an earpiece. How's my reception to you? Is
You
there
sound
noise or
terrific.
back? Okay, good. Okay, great. Super. All right. How are you? You're already doing one. Wonderful. So I
Very-
just woke up and I'm doing good also.
Well, I wasn't. I wanted to make sure that I didn't wake you up. That was the thing.
No. No. I have to get up anyway, do things, and work the graveyard shift tonight again. So
So you work the overnight, right? So you are
right
you
now,
still
yeah.
you still with the LVPD?
No. I had to retire in 2016. I got sick. I almost died twice. I don't know if you heard.
Well, I knew that you had some health scares. I only know that because I'm friends with Kenny Bolin, and
Oh, well,
he and I
Kenny knows the
spoke.
whole story.
Yeah, Kenny and I talked a little bit about it. He didn't go into a lot of detail,
Right. Yeah.
but
So
I know
I
that you
had,
had some issues.
yeah, couple of them. Like I said, almost checked out twice, and it
You
got
ain't
really
going
bad.
nowhere, brother. You got a
Ah,
lot of
well,
fight left in you. You ain't going nowhere.
thanks. Well, the man upstairs says I'm not going because, believe me, and when we talk and you hear and see what I was and what happened, I'm amazed, and I did it. How sick I was, and modern medicine took 3 years, couldn't fix me. I switched to vegan juicing and something called the Gerson therapy. Watched 5 different documentaries, and in 3 months, I was getting better. And now I'm back to the swing of things. I'm in the gym. I got a job again. Uh, and I was 272 pounds with a 45-inch waist. Now I'm back down to 201 pounds with a 32-inch waist. I'm
God
looking like
bless you. Wow, that's amazing.
yeah. I'll give you all. This would be a good story for your podcast, along with the wrestling stuff.
Well, yeah, we definitely want to talk to you about it. I know that you had, and I knew, I knew a little bit more than I'm leading on to. I know that you had some really serious health concerns. I know that you almost died at least twice.
Yeah. I
Um,
had I had I had bilateral pulmonary embolisms, which is I had one blood clot in each lung. I had 2 blood clots, one below my left knee, one above my left knee. I had post-concussion syndrome, vertigo, about 7 migraines a month. My blood pressure normal was like 170 over 110. My pulse was running at 105. I had plaque in my arteries, fatty tissue on my liver, and I was pre-diabetic. And
other
that's
than
just what I
that, you
can
were
remember.
healthy as a horse, right?
Yeah, and that's just what I can remember off the top of my head.
Holy shit! What did they do about your vertigo? How did they treat that?
I did. They didn't treat shit. I did my vertigo and my migraines.
Really?
I was getting Botox shots in the head. I was getting nerve block shots in the head, and I was getting trigger point from my neck all the way down my back because I had 2 degenerating discs in my neck and 2 degenerating discs in my back. I got that teeter board thing, upside down board, and the power of raw vegetables and juicing and stuff like that. My neck is fine now. My discs have regenerated, and my spine is straight again.
All from changing your diet out.
My whole lifestyle. I'm telling you, I got all the raw
Wow.
footage. I have all this raw footage. For the 60 days, I didn't drink anything but juice. And I made my own juice, my own fresh vegetables and juices. I videoed everything. I got all this raw footage. I just don't know how to put it together and give it to people on YouTube. But I'm telling you, if I wouldn't have done it myself, I'd have called the person a liar.
Wow.
My cholesterol in January was 252. I did the juicing. I started January 10th, and I did it straight to March 12th. I got my blood tested again in April. My cholesterol went down to 104.
Holy shit.
Yeah, all from juicing and changing my diet. From eating meat to just vegan. Actually, I'm worse than a vegan. I'm what they call a whole food plant-based nutritionist.
Wow. Holy man, that's crazy.
People need to hear this. And Jesse Hernandez.
Yeah, they need to hear it big time. Dude, the whole world needs to hear that.
Yeah, my first promoter, Jesse Hernandez, the Empire Wrestling Federation. Okay, he's a diabetic, and he saw what happened to me because he would talk to me on the phone when I was sick and stuff like that. He's a little overweight. He's diabetic. I told him this is what I did. He says, "Well, let me try some of this." This is all he did.
Yeah.
He changed his morning routine. He had oatmeal in the morning, had his fresh juice, cut out a lot of red meat, and he curbed his flour, his processed flour. His diabetes injections, because he was taking injections every day, were cut in half within 30 days.
Well, see, that's a concern to me because I am diabetic. You know.
I think you need to listen.
Yeah, well, you know.
And he only changed one meal a day. I did a 180 from what I was. I did a 180 and changed everything cold turkey. Cold turkey. I didn't graduate or gradually. I went flip, cut, turn, change. Jesse just did a little bit, and he got results.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay,
just one meal a day. He just changed his breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast. That's it.
Wow.
You can call and ask him.
You know, it's funny because they tell me, the doctor tells me, because I'm taking metformin for my diabetes.
Right.
And you know what that's all about. But the doctor says that I'm actually better off eating more food during the day to increase my metabolism. That would help with my diabetes. But I'm funny though. I'm Italian. I can't eat if I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
And being Italian is part of my issue because I love my bread and my pasta.
Yeah. I'm Sicilian. Talk to me about it.
Oh yeah, I know. You're a paisan. I know, brother.
Yeah. So believe me, that was hard. And I'll tell you, I was sick for 3 years from 2016 to 2019, and I was in bed 20 hours a day, every day.
That's what Kenny said. He said you were bedridden when we talked.
20 hours a day, 3 years.
Wow, man.
Yep.
What finally got you motivated? What got you out of bed?
This guy, right when I left WWE, it was in 2005. A contract was up. I went to Japan, and before I left WWE, right? Okay, so I did all the stuff, and I was going back into police work, but there was too much time between my first police officer training certificate and my second. There was 20 years, so I had to re-go through another police academy to get my new certificate. So I had to get a job. So there's a hotel called the Palms here in Vegas, and I used to work in one of their nightclubs called Rage. Back in 2005, this was a hot club. This was a new Rage and everything. Even Terry came down. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, no, I know Terry.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, I can't assume, but yeah, Terry came down, saw me at the club because he had interest in the Palms and the new tower, and so he came in and stuff like that. So I was working there, and while going to the police academy, I met this gentleman named Scott Adams, and we became great friends. We worked at night, So we were friends throughout the years, but we lost touch. And prior to me getting sick, I happened to bump into him. So I bumped into him like 2015, somewhere around there. And he saw me, and I was healthy, 230 pounds. I had a 34-inch waist then, but I was lifting, healthy, cut, and we talked. And then we lost contact for 3 years after that. So January 3rd, he gives me a call. Hey, Rico, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. I said, Scott, I'm sick. And I tell him what I've got. He can't believe it. He says, we got to meet. I said, I can't really meet. I'm sick.
Right.
He goes, okay. And so we talked. He goes, I got to talk to you. He goes, I got to talk to you, and maybe I can help. I said, okay, so we'll stay in touch. I never stayed on the phone long because the blood clots in the lungs ruined my capacity. So I couldn't even walk up my flight of stairs. If I walked up, I had to lay down. If I walked down the stairs and got something from the kitchen, I couldn't turn around and walk right back up. I had to wait downstairs for 2 or 3 minutes till I got my wind to come back up the stairs. So
Wow.
as I'm sitting here, a guy calls me from Sarasota, Florida, where I used to bodyguard with him for a certain client.
Right.
He tells me there's a job here in town, bodyguarding. And I'm like, John, I'm sick. I can't even get out of my own way. He says it's an easy gig, $35 an hour. All you're doing is watching copper cables. And what had happened is the local cell phone company built a tower, and Nevada Power was too busy to hook it up to the line, so they got a big generator out there powering this tower, which is now functional. People are coming in and stealing all the cables for the copper.
Yeah, sure.
So what this company wants 2 people to secure for about 3 or 4 days, secure this generator. So I said, okay, John, I said, I can watch it. I said, but if somebody comes, I mean, I can't fight them off. I said, somebody sneezes, I'm grabbing for a chair. I said, I can't stand. I got vertigo. He goes, can you still shoot? I said, yeah. He goes, good. Take the job and shut up. He goes, you got a friend? I said, as a matter of fact, I do, and I just talked to him. He goes, see if he wants to work too. I said, good. He's healthy and big as an ox, so he can handle the manual labor. So I called Scotty back, and hey, Scott, you want to meet? He said, yeah. I said, how'd you like to meet me and make $35 an hour for a couple of days for 12-hour shifts? He goes, hell yeah. I said, okay. This is it. So we got the gig, and while we're doing the gig, he talks to me about, he's been a vegan for like a year and a half already. Talks to me about the process and juicing, fresh juices and all this stuff.
Right.
And I'm listening, and he says, I think this can help you. Well, we watch, while we're sitting there for 12 hours watching a generator, which doesn't move, well, I watched 5 different documentaries. I watched What the Health, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, Gerson therapy videos, Forks Over Knives, and the last one I saw is Fed Up with Katie Couric. I watched those videos, and then 2 days later, I switched. I gave all my carnivore food, all that shit to my son-in-law and daughter. I bought a juicer at Fry's, and I turned and did everything right then and there. And then I went on a 60-day juice fast where I did nothing but drink juice for 60 whole days, January 10th to March 12th. The reason why it's March 12th is because February was lost 2 days. February went to 28.
Yeah.
So I did the true 60 days. And in those 60 days, I went from 272 to 204 pounds.
What, in 30 days?
60.
Oh, 60 days.
Yeah, I lost
That's
68
amazing.
pounds in 60 days. No stretch marks, no no loose skin, none of that crap. I mean, I dropped the weight. I got healthy. I was walking. Scott made me walk once a week. I'd drive to his house and we'd walk 2.25 miles up and down hills. When I first started, it took me almost an hour and 15 minutes to walk that 2.2 miles. By the time we finished, we were doing it in 35, 40 minutes. By the end of my 60 days and 70 days.
That's remarkable.
Days. I'm telling you, it's like I said, if I didn't do it, Angelo, I'd have called those people a liar. What are you selling me? Snake skin, what is that, snake oil? That's what I'd have said. And I videoed, and I took pictures every week. Weighed myself and took pictures of my body every week. All 4 positions. I have all this raw material. I just don't know how to put it together, and I'm reaching out to people to help me put it together. So I can
absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what. It's funny, Rico, how things work out. One of the guys that does the show with me, his name's Mike Messier. He's a filmmaker. He's a documentarian.
That's what I need.
Well, he's going to be there. So, I mean, we can work it out so that we're, that were all on the show. I would love to,
Yeah.
to hook you up with them.
I'll send you the before pictures, and then I'll send you the after picture. And just from the picture alone, you're gonna go, what?
Well, yeah, see, because I remember what you used to look like. I know that you were a, competitive bodybuilder, and I know you were jacked to the gills.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, but you saw that, but I want to show you a picture of what happened to me.
Right.
And what I look like now.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw you. In fact, I think you were talking to Kenny. You might have been on Kenny's bowling alley, and I think I saw you there, and you looked good. You looked like you had put weight on, at that time.
Oh yeah, Russo on the bowling alley. When I talked about Bruce Pritchard and Kenny in the face, that's the bowling alley one.
Right, yeah, because I did Kenny's show with him.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I was on one of his episodes. I did probably 2 hours with him that night.
Yeah.
Well, we actually talked about you yesterday on my podcast. We were talking about you a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. Well, look, I was putting you over. I was, telling people that been in contact with you, and it's looks like we're going to have you on the show, and everybody's excited about having you on.
See, this is amazing to me, Angelo, and very humbling. I've been gone. This month was my last. 2004 was my last television appearance.
Right.
And here it is, 15 years later, and people still want to know about me. This is humbling. I am so honored, and just I'm speechless about it.
Well, see, here's the thing, though, and I have a thought about that. I always believe that it's not the quantity of time that you spend there, but it's what you do with the time there.
Oh yeah, I'm a believer of that too. I'm always about quality, not quantity.
Absolutely, and then and people remember that.
I guess they do.
Well, yeah, because they're still talking about Rico Costantino. So look, you did something right, kid.
I get mail to this day. I mean, they send me trading cards, they send me photos, they send me stuff with the self-addressed stuff, and they ask me to sign it. I sign it and send it right back. I still to this day, I'll get maybe 7 a month, something like that, and they come from all over the country, all over the world, Germany.
Now, Rico, do you do the conventions like like all the other guys do now?
No, I don't sell or go to stuff like that. One, I was too sick. I couldn't.
Right.
I showed up to CAC this year in May because I was on Hannibal's show, and
Hannibal from Canada.
Yeah, so I showed up there and he caught me, and I did a show. But this is right. I mean, I started juicing in January, so I saw him in May. So I lost all that weight, so I looked pretty bad. Now I've come back the other way.
Yeah.
So I look a lot better. People say, "Whoa, I wouldn't recognize him. He looks terrible." Blah 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 blah. He looks old. He didn't look like he used to.
No, brother. Let me tell you something. When you did the interview with Hannibal, I thought you were looking pretty damn good. You looked better there than you did with Bolin.
Oh yeah. See, you saw the difference, but people who saw Hannibal didn't see the Bolin one. They did. They had nothing to compare.
Oh, you looked amazing, dude. You looked pretty damn good.
Yeah. See, people remember me of my last television appearance, and then they saw me. Yeah, they missed out on all the in-between stuff.
Yeah.
So to me, I did look terrible. Because, of course, I was 43 years old, 44.
Right.
That's my last thing. And then I'm 58 now. I was 57.
I was going to say, you and I are... I know that you and I were, like, pretty close to the same age. I'm 60.
Oh, see, we are.
Yeah, and I know that, you and I were, like, right in the same ballpark. I knew we were maybe a year or two apart.
Yeah. So we have the same upbringing, same Italian heritage.
Oh, brother, I followed your career from the get-go, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
I'm from the Gladiator. No, I'm serious.
Wow.
From the Gladiator days. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. That's a shoot.
Thank you, Ed.
That's straight shoot, brother. No, I've been following you for a long time. And when I said, you know what, I'm just for the hell of it, I'm gonna reach out, and what can Rico tell me to go, pound sand up my ass? But I'm gonna, but I'm gonna reach out to Rico, and if he tells me no, at least I can say I reached out,
Right.
But then when you called me back and went, I'm gonna have Rico on the show. I
Well,
told everybody, I said, Rico's gonna do the show. You watch.
yeah. Well, on the messenger thing, I'm not. I have a Facebook account. That's because Kenny set it up for the GoFundMe and stuff like that.
Right.
And the PayPal. But I don't do Facebook. And the only reason why, is I wouldn't be able to answer everybody back.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure.
I would feel like a piece of crap if I couldn't answer. And all of a sudden, one of the names is an 8-year-old kid, and I couldn't answer him back, and he got discouraged. I don't want that on my conscience, so I just don't do social media. So I have Messenger, and I was at work at my, I do something called patient safety. I'll explain that in a minute if you want. And I was going through my Messenger because somebody was messaging me. I was talking to a fan in South Korea, and I talked to him. He would message me all through my sickness. He called me Captain Americo. That's what he calls me.
Oh, it's funny.
Captain Americo. And he was there through my whole sickness, giving me encouraging messages and everything. And so I keep in touch with him, definitely. So as I'm doing, I hit a button. I don't know what button I hit, but I hit it. And then I found all these names who had sent messages wishing me well, and I'm like, holy
crazy, huh?
crap, look at all this. I answered every one of them. And you happen to be one of them that was in there. I answered everybody back because I finally found it. I didn't know. I'm like, holy mac, this has been hiding all this time. I'm for sure these people are going, holy crap, he answered me.
Yeah, for sure.
Some are probably wondering, is this really him? So I get a lot of that too. Is this really
Yeah,
Rico?
I'm sure.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
yes,
you know why?
really
Because a lot of guys have what they call a ghost account, where it's their name is on it, but they get like some staffer.
No, I don't do the ghosting. Stephanie and Hunter do the ghosting. I don't ghost, but I do have web pages that people are saying to me. There's another Facebook account. I guess there's something called Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. Yeah. Well, yeah. You don't have Twitter. Thank God for that.
No, I don't do that kind of stuff.
You don't know how lucky you are, brother.
From what I hear from other people, yeah.
It's a big charade. It turns into a giant cluster. You got people, bad mouthing each other. It's just, what it is. It's a marketplace for the marks.
Yeah. Well,
it really is.
Remember our day when somebody used to get mad there on the telephone? We used to call them telephone tough guys.
Yeah.
Come here and say that to me. Come here and say, and they're over the phone. Well, right now they're doing the same thing, but it's over a computer behind.
Well, yeah, they have the anonymity of a keyboard. They can break. Yeah, they can be brave all day long.
Yeah, and they do it. And I don't want to get into it, but it's just too much drama.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't like getting into it. So I
don't. Who could blame you?
Yeah, but that is the reason why I don't do Facebook, is because I would not physically be able to answer anybody, and I wouldn't want anybody answering for me. I wouldn't want a staffer, like say if I had a staffer, to answer anything for me.
Yeah.
I answer my own stuff, and I don't care if you bring it to me. You're not going to put it in my words to this fan who has, reached out to me. So that's why like I said, I don't have an account. I have an account, but it's not active. But Messenger, yes.
Well, see, that's the old school in you, but that's also the Italian in you. Very. Yeah, no, believe me, I understand completely.
Yeah. So
I
I'm really happy. I got a smile on my face from ear to ear talking to you. You made me feel really good today, Angelo.
well, look, the truth has to be spread,
Yeah,
you know, and I look at it this way, if you have a story to tell, people need to be able to see you and hear you. They need to be
right.
inspired by what you have to say.
Yeah,
There are a lot of people, Rico, straight up, brother, there's a lot of people that need inspiration right now. A lot.
yeah. I know. I deal with it at my job. I've trained, I mean, two or three people right now at what I'm doing, and I got two young adults, 21, 22 years old, and they're looking up to me to get trained right and to be inspired. And that's how you train people. And for other things in life, I do it in the gym. When I'm at the gym, young adults come to me and ask, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? Or this, and I just give my time, help them out. So
Rico,
everybody needs
do
inspiration.
you do any motivational speaking at all?
No, I've done motivational speaking when I used to be, right after I'd done Gladiators. I worked with about 10 different children's charities for a year. I
Right.
donated all my time, and that's motivational appearances, motivational speaking. And then when they wanted to pay me, I'd say, okay, I don't want to get paid, just feed me. And the ones that did hand me a check, I would say, okay, and I would donate it right back to whatever organization I was working with. Cerebral
Right.
palsy, muscular dystrophy, Make-A-Wish, all that stuff. Adam Walsh,
Right.
Special Olympics, all that. I would give it all back. So I did that for a whole year as I turned as the American Gladiator champion that year after I won.
It's funny because
So
I'm running through my mind over here. I'm thinking, like, what I'm hearing you say would make a hell of a motivational video.
well, if you're see, I don't have the talent for what you have, Angelo. I've always been a firm believer. Do what you know, you know, um, and what's your gift from God is what God gives you. Me, it's what He gives me, and it's like I don't know a thing about fixing a car, and I would never try. I'd always bring it to the shop and to have the mechanic do it because I don't know how, and
Right.
pay the guy, right? But drop kicks, body slams, security, and law enforcement, and stuntman work, I'll tell you fucking all about it. Now, health, I'll tell you all about it because I lived it. I did it.
Oh yeah, sure.
See, so what you're telling me is like foreign to me because I don't know. You're the guy. You've been in this field. I got to take your advice, and if you're thinking of something, that's great. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that you know more than I would, and if you got a hint or an idea that could possibly work, I'd have to say, okay, tell me about it. You're the expert.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this just reeks of motivational video. I'm thinking, but to get that out to people, to hear your story, to see what you've been through, to know, that it's possible for them. Look, it's like the old question is, if Rico can do it, well, I can do it. He's
Yes.
given me, I'm finding strength through his encouragement.
Yeah.
Just
And
like you found encouragement through your friend who,
yeah.
you had no idea this guy was going to change your life. You never know.
Nope.
You
Yeah.
never know who God puts in your way, brother.
Nope. And okay, last Tuesday night, I'll tell you, this is how close it was Tuesday night. This young man who I've trained for security, at a club, I gave him a ride home, and my boss told him my past, and I guess he looked me up on the internet. So as we're driving home, he tells me, "Man, I want to do what you did, blah 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 blah." And I said, "Okay." I said, "You're a young fella, you can do." And I started explaining, you just got to put your mind to it. And I said, listen to this phrase. This is what I've lived by my whole life. When I finally started to do things after I was 21.
Right.
And I said, listen to this phrase. I said, what your mind can conceive, your heart can achieve. I said, think about it.
Yeah.
And he did. And he went, wow. I said, so you could do anything. And I told him, I said, there's nothing special about me, pal. I just put in the work. And I said, the human will and the human spirit is the most magnificent thing on this ball.
I absolutely concur.
So,
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, it's funny, it's kind of along the same lines of what you said, but I tell people, believe it, receive it, achieve it.
there you go.
And that's,
Same thing.
yeah, it's exactly,
That's
it's the same thing. Believe it, receive it, achieve it.
There it is. Same.
And it's not complicated.
No, and that's the funny thing. It's a 2 plus 2 equation. It's so simple it goes over people's heads. People can't believe it's that simple.
I know. Well, you know what? It's funny because the simple solution often eludes us because we become accustomed to doing things complicated.
Yes.
I believe, and it's funny because I believe this with all my heart. Human beings are hell bent on getting in their own way. We love to obstruct our own progress.
Yes. Yeah.
And we do a wonderful, magnificent job of it.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Oh,
yes,
boy.
We do.
Yeah, buddy, do
Yeah, we do.
Get in our own way every time.
Yeah. I've done it. How do you think I've learned? I've made my mistakes. So if everybody says, he's had a great, perfect life. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Look, brother, guilty as charged, me too.
Yeah. I had to go through the rough spots to get to the good spots. Because if you don't go through the rough spots, you'll never appreciate the good spots.
That's exactly right.
Never.
There was a short time in my life. I'll never forget it. There was a short time in my life that I was homeless. It's true. That's a shoot. And I was sleeping on park benches and dumpsters behind restaurants. So a guy came out one day, and I'm huddled up next to the dumpster. The guy comes out, and he happens to own the pizza place that I'm sleeping behind. He takes me in, he gets me cleaned up, he gives me a job. This is all true. All true. He gives me a job.
No reason to doubt you, Angelo.
Every word is a shoot. So he gives me a job, and so now I'm working, and I got 3 or 4 days of pay in my pocket, but I'm still sleeping out behind the dumpster. And I said, I need a place to sleep. He goes, until you appreciate the hardness of the sidewalk, you'll never understand the comfort of a bed.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll never forget. He said that. I'll never forget that. And then that night, I was sleeping in a bed. My own bed. I had enough money. In like 3 weeks, I had enough money to get a little apartment, just a 1-room flat. Everything was in 1 room. The kitchen, the bathroom, it was like 1 room.
Right.
And everything was like, what do they call them? Like efficiency apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was one of them deals. And that night,
that was concrete.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was.
Oh man.
It was amazing. And I won't trade that journey for anything, man. That was an amazing journey I went on.
Yeah, I've had people ask me because I'm in my 50s now. They go, "Would you ever?" People I've sat and talked to when I've gotten to this conversation. Would you change anything in your life? I said, "Hell no." They go, "Not even the bad times?" I said, "No, especially not the bad times. Because of all those bad times, look where I am now."
It was No, Rico, think about it, man. It was the bad times that educated you.
Yes. And I have you. Would you like to be 20 years old again? I said, hell no.
No, because I was stupid.
No, yeah, exactly. I said, I've learned so much since then. I said, no, I don't want to go back. I don't care if I had this knowledge. I would not go back to my 20s. I don't care.
Yeah, it was like, why would you want to? Especially these days. Would you want to be a 20-year-old today?
Nope.
Not on your life.
I see them. I see exactly what they're doing to themselves. And I don't understand them. I don't understand the last three generations. Angelo.
But let me tell you something. That's a whole conversation we could do a show about.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh,
Oh
tell
my
me you hit
God.
the record button on this phone call. This is some good shit.
Well, and it's funny. That's the thing about a podcast. Podcasts are forever.
Yeah.
You
But you
know,
didn't hit you got the record button going now?
I don't actually.
Ah. I
But
should have
oh
said
wait, you
you
know
better
what?
start hitting record.
You know what? Hold on
But
a second. I'm serious. Hold on, because I want to see something. Because I have a feature on my phone that does record, but let me see if it's on.
okay. Because this could be a whole podcast in itself.
Guess what, Rico? You're in luck. We've been recording the entire time.
Well, there's a podcast in itself, my friend.
I'm telling you what. Well, I still want to get your ass on the podcast with me.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, do you have people call in, ask questions and stuff like that?
We have that capability, but we haven't used it yet. That would be
Okay,
interesting
all
to
right.
try to use that.
Well, I mean, call or type in while we're podcasting. Can they
Oh yeah,
type
we
in a
can. Oh
question?
yeah, definitely. We can definitely do that for sure. Yes, absolutely, for
Because
sure.
I'm pretty sure this is going to raise some questions with a lot of people. Your fans.
Oh, I hope it does.
Well, I'm being facetious, but this is going to raise a lot of questions. Because when I did the Hannibal thing, a couple of people, the naysayers go, right, just drinking juice cured you. Well, of course, I wrote him back. I said, listen, it's not just juice. It was a process. I just couldn't go into it on the show. And I wrote him back. And then I had another guy say, Rico, why didn't you thank everybody who donated to your GoFundMe page? And I said, well, I did. I said, but I didn't do it on the show because it wasn't the time and the place. Hannibal didn't allow me to go in that direction.
Right.
I said, I do thank everybody, but these are the naysayers, but they have their questions. But,
But it was
like
probably a wrestling. It was a wrestling crowd, though, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
there you go. Hello.
Yeah. But I answered those guys back, and I explained what I just said to you. This is why I didn't do this. This is why I did this.
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't just juice. It was a process I went through that cured me. 3 years modern medicine. I'm not crapping on modern medicine. I'm not crapping on it. The doctors are good for what they do. I'm just saying there is a better way, and and through these 5 different documentaries, I learned what this way was. I researched the documentaries. I used the information that these people gave out, and I took it, put it together, and put it in a plan into action. And I documented at least once a day, if not 3 times a day, my journey on my phone. I have all this 60-day raw footage. So I did I did all the mistakes, and then I put it on film and then corrected it. I said, okay, don't do it this way, but do it this way. This is how I figured this out. Or this is how I figured this out. This is the juicer I use. These are the vegetables I use. This is what helped me here. I started working out. Look, I walked here. It took me this long. I couldn't even do one lady push-up when I started this whole journey in January.
Wow.
I couldn't do a lady push-up. Now I'm at the gym 5 days a week, 3 days with weights, 2 days with cardio, and I'm running a mile on a treadmill in like 11 minutes and 30 seconds.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I could. I went from not being able to walk up 2 flights of stairs in my house
Right,
to
getting
running
blown
a mile.
up from walking up the steps.
Yeah, to doing a mile in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Basically. See, people need to know
that's
this.
pretty remarkable. It really is.
Well, one, I thank God for it because He put Scott in my way, and 2, and there's another thing about it. Don't forget, I was a licensed minister also. I could marry and bury.
I heard that. I think Kenny. Kenny said that too.
Yeah, he's the biggest atheist in the world, and the one thing he says on the show, he says, "See, I'm friends with a man who was a man of God, a minister, and he and I get along great because he doesn't try to convert me, but he's still strong in his faith." See, he said, Kenny knows what all I'm about, you know.
Yeah.
And I caught him on one of those shows one time. I sneezed. He went, "God bless you." I went, "What? You don't know God? How could you bless me?" He started laughing.
Exactly.
He started laughing. So, but you know, yeah.
Well, I got news
used to be a
for you.
minister.
Let me tell you something on a shoot.
Oh, real quick. Oh, this is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Faith without works is dead. That's the comment I wanted to get out. You got all this information and stuff, and with God, but you have to move with it. You can have all the faith in the world.
The book of James, chapter 5, verse 1 through 5. I know it well.
Is that what it says?
Book of James, brother. Jesus' brother.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I know who he is. Yeah. But faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
So you can have all the faith you want, but if you don't put it in action, you're gonna be. You'd be right where you are. It'd be like running on a treadmill.
That's always been one of my favorite things. That's always been one of my favorite scriptures. Faith without works is dead.
Yeah. Well, you just impressed the hell out of me.
Telling you what. Well, you know, I made kind of a believer out of bowling too. See, I haven't told you what I do for my shoot work.
No, I don't.
But
I don't know.
But, you know, you and I have a little bit in common. You know, you did police work, but I work with the police. But I'm not a police officer. I'm a psychic.
Okay, but that's why it says psychic on the. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah, I'm a legit psychic.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I do.
I get it now.
And wow. I did a reading for. I was on. Kenny brought me on his show because basically he wanted to test me. You know, to prove me wrong. Well, wow. I left that show and made Kenny a believer.
Good.
I said, now if I can only make you believe in God, I think then we're on. That would be the real miracle, getting Kenny Bolin to believe. But you know, here's the thing, though. I think he believes more than he lets on to. I really do.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say. He talks a good game. But down deep, I think he believes. He just likes. What is that? What was that in Tombstone with Kurt Russell, with Doc Holliday?
Yeah.
And he says, "My hypocrisy only knows." He goes, and Wyatt says, "You only like to think you're a hypocrite, Doc. You're not." You know. So I think Kenny thinks he's an atheist, but you know.
Yeah,
like
but you know what
like
you know what all that deal is about. You see. Kenny so admires Jimmy Cornette. You know, Jim Cornette's an atheist, so now naturally, you know, Kenny Bolin's an atheist.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, when he starts talking about, you know, his atheism, I go, yeah, all right. Blow it out your ass, Ken. You know? Because I'm one of the few people that could get away with telling him to pound it up his ass and, you know.
I'm one of them, too. I mean, we've had our Jesus meetings.
I don't think he you know, he likes to talk back to Italians. He's afraid he might get whacked or something.
Oh, did he ever tell you the story when we met and how we got to be friends?
He went into
about the photos.
Yeah, he started to go into it as something. I believe at OVW.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went in. He started to go into that story, and then he, of course, in typical Kenny fashion, he sidetracked himself and went into a completely different tangent. But so I never really heard the full story. But we can explore. We could actually go into that on the show.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we could do that.
But yeah, it was funny. Just a little misunderstanding, and once he explained himself, we became the best friends. In fact, he's the reason why I became a heel. Because when I got hurt, when I tore my quad,
right,
in the match, and they were bringing me back, Kenny's wanted to bring me back as a heel. Cornette flipped out and said, "He's our top baby face. He'll never be a heel." Kenny said, "Give me 6 weeks, and if he's not a heel, he'll go back to face." Within 3, I was the top heel.
Right? Ain't that some shit?
Well, that's Kenny. That was Kenny. All Kenny did that. Or else I'd have never been a heel. That was all bowling.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was, I don't know how many times he's done it, but that was one time he outsmarted Cornette.
Well, it didn't. I can tell you this, Rico. It didn't happen often.
No.
It didn't happen often. Not well. Let's put it this way: not often enough.
Well, yeah, but at least Corny listened to him. You know.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and that was it. But Kenny was the only one that believed I could come back as a heel, and I came back. Like I said, it was I just liked working. I would have done anything. You know. Yeah, I love the business.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. They say, I don't care what you have me do, just let me do something. I love the business. I just want to work. And that's I hear that from a lot of people. I just wanted to work.
Do you think I thought of these characters? The two characters I had? The two characters Vince gave me are the exact opposite of my personal life. The exact opposite.
I know. The Billy and Chuck thing, right?
Yeah, an effeminate stylist. I'm like, a style, because that's all they said. You're their stylist. I said, okay, stylist. What, hairstylist? What kind of stylist? And then, you know what I got told? Flesh it out. Yeah. I'm like, what? Flesh it out? Well, what do I wear? What do you wear? I said, I don't know how to manage. I'm a wrestler, and I barely know that. I said, I just started wrestling at 38 years old. I said, and I'm 39 at this time, 30, right. Almost 40. Now I'm like, I don't know how to manage. Thank God for Billy Gunn, because Billy said, don't worry, kid, I'll take care of you. Just follow my lead. I said, okay.
Well, part of what I heard, because I know a lot of people in the business, and I grew up in the business, but part of what I heard was part of the problem was that you were too good looking to be a face because they had faces at the time. You're a good looking guy. Having another good looking face wouldn't have served you well. Having a good looking guy that the women adore but's a real prick underneath, that works. You could take a good looking guy and make him a stinking rotten heel, and that'll work. It'll get him over.
Like Rick Rude.
Perfect example, exactly. But then the other issue was that you worked too well. But I think because you started later in life, your body mechanics and what you picked up and what you learned was far superior than some younger kid that forgot 10 minutes after he started.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you know who told me, who brought that conversation?
In other words, I think you retained more, is what I'm saying.
I retained more what?
I think you retained more knowledge.
Oh.
Older.
Yeah, and I didn't do the stupid stuff. I didn't go out and get drunk. I didn't get hooked on pain pills.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. So.
Exactly.
Also, only reason why they were going to cut, in fact, they cut me in 90 days, and it was Cornette, Jim Ross,
right,
and Stone Cold that got me the job. Said, hey, okay, you're going to cut him in 90 days, but at least let him get on the road. Maybe you'll think of something.
Right.
And Stephanie is the one who thought of the manager for Billy. But, the good-looking guy thing and stuff like that. Raven talked to me one day at a house show, and he said, okay, Rico, what do you like being? Do you like being face or a heel? I said, I like being a heel. He goes, well, you got to do something about your face. I said, what? He said, you got to do something about your face. I said, what do I need to do about my face? He says, you got to go sideburns or something. You got to do something. I said, okay. So that's when I started growing sideburns. Sideburns. Oh, are you there?
I am.
Hold on one sec. I might lose you. Call me back.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Let's see. Can you hear me good like this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm in my car. I got to take my daughter to the post office. So, so I said, I'm not going to grow those. I said, Honky Tonk had them, Rock had a version of them,
Right?
you know. So I grew my Wolverine sideburns. And he won't ever take credit for it.
Yeah.
He says, I didn't tell him to do that, but that's why I grew sideburns. It's because of him.
Really? Because of Raven?
Raven told me.
Yeah.
That he said you were too good looking to be a heel.
What the idea was, the sideburn was going to try to ugly you up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It didn't work, brother.
That was his, that was his thing.
Yeah, that's funny because it's funny because Scott don't live far from here.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't live far from.
For it, though.
Well, you know, it's funny. Yeah, he'll never get credit for a lot of the stuff.
No,
that
he'll
came
never
up
take
with.
credit. He won't take credit for it.
Oh, really?
He says, I didn't tell him to grow those sideburns.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't surprise me because he's a real laid-back, humble guy.
Yes, he is. But he helped me a lot, too, with my journey.
He helped a lot of guys, and he never got the credit for helping the people that he helped. But the one guy that puts him over to the moon is Blue Meanie.
Ah, I remember him.
Yeah, he's actually teaching at the Monster Factory here in New Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah, he's teaching wrestling with Danny Cage.
Danny Cage.
He was a cup of coffee guy, you know. He was in and out.
Okay.
He was one of Larry Sharp, Pretty Boy Larry Sharp's guys. And when Larry Sharp sold the Monster Factory, he sold it to this Danny Cage. You know, he was an enhancement guy, Rico, back in the Fed days, when WWF at the time.
Okay.
Before they became WWE. But yeah, he's got the Monster Factory now, and Blue Meanie. In fact, you know, Raven teaches there once in a while too. He'll come in and do a class.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's not far from here.
Wow.
Yeah, I live in the heart of like wrestling country. I had Jimmy Snuka lived 15 minutes away. King Kong Bundy Chris lived in like 10 minutes from my house. I had who the hell else is around here? Oh, Tom Brandy the Patriot. He's like 30 minutes away. They're all within, you know, striking distance.
Right.
You know. But listen, you're taking your daughter. So listen, spend time with your daughter. You and I will talk over the next day.
Okay.
All right,
give
brother.
Give me a call. Or give me a message. Pleasure talking to you, Angelo.
Oh, I'm honored, Rico. Thank you. It was all my pleasure. I appreciate you.
All righty, sir.
All right. Spend some quality time with your kiddo.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Take care.
Bye-bye.